Walter Moreno, and this is my ACE Global presentation. Okay. My group's issue is how can animal exploitation be used for economic gain, and how can it be stopped? What is animal exploitation? Animal exploitation is the excessive use of animals for resources, such as using animals to make clothes or for entertainment. How can they be used for economic gain? Animals can be used in many ways for economic gain. Even the meats that people consume create economic gain to those killing the animals and providing the meats to the markets. The main use of animals nowadays for economic gain is in entertainment. Animals are used to entertain people in events such as circus or legal fights such as dog fights or rodeos, which could result in the death of many animals. Why is this important? This issue is important because many of these animals are just innocent creatures that have been brought into the world by nature so that they too can coexist with humans. It is cruel to kill an animal for its skin or throw it into some kind of animal fight for entertainment so that others can make a living. Another main issue is the impact that it would have on the food chain. All animals form part of our food chain and have a great effect on it. If we continue to use animals uncontrollably for economic gain, and if we keep killing them, certain species will eventually become extinct and affect the food chain, which can also affect other animals too. The statistical research that I found says that half of the planet's wildlife population has vanished since 1970, and the vast majority of this is due to human activity, with exploitation and habitat degradation loss being the primary culprits. Overall, 52% of the world's mammals, birds, reptiles, amphibians, and fish disappeared over that 4-decade period. And if you look at the chart, you can see that the main cause of this decline is exploitation, which is the highest percentage, which is 37%. Others research shows that the number of mice, rats, dogs, cats, rabbits, monkeys, and other test animals killed in U.S. laboratories each year is about 100 million. The number of the animals that fall victim to animal hoarding each year is 250,000, and the percent of fur clothing in the United States that comes from China is 54%. My group found a newspaper article for a local issue which read, Judge upholds Palm Beach Gardens puppy mill ban, store shuts down. Basically, the store was using puppies and basically putting them in like the view of the store in front of the window so that people would pass by and see them, and that is actually illegal. They can't do that. So when they tried to file a lawsuit order, the judge turned them down, and it was considered animal cruelty. This is global because animal exploitation does not just happen in Palm Beach Gardens, it happens all over the world. Animals are used in many Southern American countries for illegal fights hosted by people which collect the earnings from the fights, and this is just one of many examples. Many governments turn blind eye to these kind of events because they simply don't care. Animals in Africa are hunted down and sold or even killed on the spot to make an economic gain out of them. Another example would be hunting animals for entertainment in Africa. There are certain organizations that fight to end animal testing. For example, the European Coalition to End Animal Experiments. They are working hard to help eliminate all animal testing within the European Union. They have been the voice for these helpless animals for nearly 25 years. There's also PETA. They've donated more than $1 million to find non-animal testing methods. They received an award from the Institute for In Vitro Scientists. They have proposed many different solutions for the United States to shift away from the use of animals and testing products for toxicity. There's also the Coalition for Consumer Information on Cosmetics. The Coalition of Consumer Information on Cosmetics has a Leaping Bunny program to let consumers know what products are and are not cruelty-free. My group looked at this issue from different perspectives such as cultural, economical, and medical. My very own perspective would be political. This issue is political because animal exploitation has been around for many years, and it has been such a strong issue that such organizations trying to stop it have to deal with the law themselves. Governments worldwide have their own laws as to why they are in agreement to animal testing or animal exploitation for economic gain without realizing the harm being done. Other governments are also corrupt, and even though they have laws against such issue, they look the other way because some leaders simply just don't care. My solution would be for governments to create and fund rescue teams. I believe that if governments all around the world funded and invested more money on rescue teams, there would be less animal exploitation for economic gain all around the world. Currently in Europe, as I mentioned before, there is a well-known rescue team named the European Coalition to End Animal Experiments. They are working hard to help eliminate all animal testing within the European Union. This team is one of the few that works hard to save animals from testing day by day. In my conclusion, animal exploitation is not only a local issue but also a global issue. Every day animals all around the world are being hunted, killed, and have even become extinct due to people's excessive need to produce some kind of economic gain. This needs to be stopped, or at least be much more controlled. My solution would be for governments all around the world to fund and invest more money on creating rescue teams that save animals from any kind of exploitation, such as testing, entertainment, or illegal fights. These are my sources. Thank you.